This week, we've been taking a closer look at policing in America, and tonight we're zeroing in on traffic stops. Millions of them occur every year in the U.S. Police officers pull over drivers for speeding, running red lights, expired or missing tags. Most of them are considered non-events, but as we've seen lately, they can sometimes turn deadly in a flash. For people of color especially, they can be heart-pounding encounters. But what if police were removed from traffic enforcement altogether? Some parts of the country are giving that a look. Here's ABC's Devin Dwyer.
The traffic stops that turn into tragedy often begin with a minor infraction or none at all. A broken tail light, dangling air freshener, simply looking like a criminal suspect. Last month, it was an alleged expired tag that led police to stop 20-year-old Dante Wright.
I lost my son. He's never coming back. I can't accept that.
Wright's death by police bullets in Minnesota has prompted fresh soul-searching over why traffic stops in America too often end violently for people of color.
When a black person is stopped for a traffic violation, it should not end up in a death sentence.
An ABC News analysis of millions of traffic stops in a dozen U.S. cities last year found black drivers are more likely to be stopped and more likely to be searched than white drivers. On the side of the road, things can quickly go south.
We got pulled over for a busted tail light in the back.
Philando Castillo's girlfriend was filming in 2016 after he was fatally shot as he tried to provide ID to an officer.
He was never a bad man. He never did anything to hurt anyone.
Late last year, Army 2nd Lieutenant Caron Nazario was stopped over a missing license plate on his new SUV, even though a temporary tag was in the back window. An officer pepper sprayed Nazario as his hands were out the window.
Whoa, hold on, hold on.
For years, civil rights groups have complained that traffic stops have been cover for racial profiling and criminal fishing expeditions. And now some say traffic enforcement should be removed from police responsibilities altogether.
Even the best police training is not going to get us to the deep structural reforms that we need to stop these incidents from happening.
Criminologist and law professor Jordan Blair Woods is urging cities and states to stop cops from stopping drivers, proposing the creation of unarmed civilian traffic monitors who could issue tickets for violations but would not run background checks or detain, search, or arrest drivers.
So rather than police, let's say, stopping you for a taillight violation or an equipment violation or a stop sign violation, you would have these civil employees or these traffic monitors who are essentially conducting the same tasks. But the difference is that the traffic stop would stop and end at that traffic violation.
Nearly 19 million drivers were stopped by police in 2018. Woods says if most or all of those encounters were eliminated, unnecessary confrontations could be avoided.
They just illegally entered my car, and I'm being forcefully removed.
Take a look at me. I'm a specimen right here, buddy.
Sir.
In 2019, Virginia state troopers pulled over Derek Thompson for an expired inspection decal. The stop, captured on Thompson's cell phone camera, quickly got physical. The officer was later fired.
We don't necessarily do training on de-escalation on a regular basis. Everybody gets it to a small extent, but probably not nearly enough considering how important it is in terms of how do you really do your job.
Even officers who have years of training, who are involved in the training, are involved in these types of killings of unarmed black men.
The idea of removing police from the traffic enforcement business is getting a serious look in a handful of U.S. cities and states. In March, Virginia imposed new limits on when cops can pull drivers over. A loud exhaust pipe or the smell of marijuana no longer count as a primary reason to initiate a stop. Berkeley, California, last summer became the first city in the nation to ban police officers from making traffic stops, transferring that duty to unarmed traffic agents.
I think the goal, once again, is to take those functions out of our police department that are not really focused on violent or serious crime, and to move those to non-sworn positions, which at the end of the day will save money.
Most law enforcement officials say it's a bad idea.
I think you'll see a segment of the society that is going to be less respectful and less fearful of the consequences of breaking those traffic rules, and that's going to make us less safe on the road.
police organizations say traffic stops are among the most dangerous responsibilities officers have and a critical tool to cracking down on criminals.
Those have been very, very, very effective in taking guns off the streets of this country.
Shootouts like this one in Arkansas, a reminder of the dangers cops can face. But studies show such attacks are very rare.
Killings of officers during traffic stops are less than 1 in 6.5 million stops. We have to remember that tens of millions of traffic stops occur every single year.
And when it comes to curbing crime, researchers in Nashville in 2018 found traffic stops do not appear to have a significant impact on long-term crime trends. With millions of Americans hitting the road this summer, moving cops to the curb faces serious challenges. Hiring new battalions of traffic monitors is expensive. There are legal hurdles. States like California have laws prohibiting civilians from handling police duties. And there are questions of compliance.
What do you do with all of those that are non-compliant? So what do you do with the person who knows that they were speeding, but they don't want another ticket because their insurance are going to go up and they just take off?
Communities will have to have some serious discussions about practices, about the circumstances under which maybe it's just best to let that traffic offender go. But really, those types of incidents are the overwhelming minority of situations that we see today.
A call to reimagine policing and traffic enforcement as more communities grapple with how to prevent traffic stops from turning into tragedies.
I think that there's a lot of room for states and localities to redesign how they're approaching things in order to solve the problems that we're seeing in traffic stops today.
For ABC News, I'm Devin Dwyer in Washington.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.